So imagine a sales team that basically has multiple SDRs and multiple salespeople, but there's actually no salespeople or no SDRs. That's basically what I just built in N8N and Go High Level that integrates Supabase and a bunch of different CRMs that takes care of all your leads, everything nurtured, and follows up 24/7 without you even having to pick up the phone once. In this video, I'll show you exactly how we built the solution and how you can implement this into your own business.
So I'm just going to keep this really simple for you guys. Basically, this is the simple sales process that is currently in most companies, right? Prospecting, qualifying leads, research, presentation, handling objections, closing, and nurturing. And those go back and forth, right? This basically takes up a large amount of time. All of these squares, all of these sections take up a large amount of time, a large amount of effort within sales teams, SDRs, any of those people, right? And we want to eliminate this. We want to get this down to the shortest amount of time possible and get these leads within our system and nurturing and closing them, right? So that's how our solution was introduced. We come down here and we're going to list the main problems of every single part of that circle that I just showed you, the current sales processes that most companies have. The first one would be leads slipping through the cracks. Most leads slip through the cracks just because of the fact that there's too much or too many leads coming into one system at one time and there's too little people handling these leads, right? And how are we going to solve this is basically by instantly engaging these leads. As soon as the AI or AI agent is prompted, texted, or whatever like that, it instantly responds. So basically, within seconds, it's called, text, or messaged the client or potential client in this case within seconds, which is great for us because the higher the response time, or in this case, the lower the response time, the better it is for everyone. And there's a better chance of you getting a response from the potential client, right? The next problem we have are not enough sales calls booked. So we used to start out with about 9 sales calls per month, and we've scaled this to about 40 to 50 just because of the fact that we have implemented the system within our own company, right? Because of the low sales calls booked, there's low conversion opportunities. We need more sales calls to book more opportunities. And how we solve that problem is by automating the lead qualification. So by automating the lead qualification, we have a questionnaire or some sort of form that we send out before these clients hop on a call with us, right? To see if they're qualified. Do they make X amount of money? Are they in this sector? Are they in this stage of their business, right? You wouldn't want to deal with a startup, or you wouldn't want to deal with someone that's just freshly starting out just because of the fact that they might take a lot longer. They might not have clients on board. They might not have a big picture where their business is wanting to be at in about 5 to 10 years, all of that kind of jazz. And here's what we're going to do to solve that problem, right? We have pre-configured questions to filter out unqualified leads before the booking calls. And this just helps everyone, even the SDRs, if you are on an SDR team, or if you don't have an SDR and you want to implement this solution, this just helps everyone in the long run qualify the leads and have qualified prospects when you do hop on the call and they're ready to hammer out the details and get payments sent out, right? This is just perfect for you. The next issue comes to missed opportunities due to slow follow-ups. Most people are manually following up with these people, and that's where the issue comes in, right? Manually following up with these individuals takes a large amount of time. Texting, calling, emailing on a daily basis, that takes out a large chunk of your day just to follow up with these leads. This is a downfall for your business, obviously, because you can have competitors that might have a larger SDR team or just faster software, faster computers, whatever you call it, right? That can respond faster and steal potential clients from your business, right? They might have the same solution as you. They might have better ads than you. They might have better whatever, you know? This is how we're going to help you compete with these businesses, right? Persistent follow-ups. Persistent follow-ups lead to pretty much having personalized messages sent every month, and it's not bothering because it's personalized, number one. Number two, we only send a max of 2 or 3. If you want to customize it to more than 2 or 3, you're more than welcome to do that, but 2 or 3 is probably recommended just because of the fact that it's way too much if you just bombard them with emails and messages and texts, right? So across all these platforms, you can send personalized messages, SMS, email, WhatsApp, Instagram DM, and Facebook Messenger. And there's always more being added every single day because this AI automation agent is very customizable, which is amazing, right? The next issue that we usually run into with these usual sales teams, right, are low show-up rates. So usually only 4 leads showed up for our booked calls when we first started out before using the system, and this made our ad spend inefficient. right? There's no point in having ad spend on a Facebook account or LinkedIn account or Instagram account and having only 4 leads show up. There's no justification there of you spending that much money just to have 4 leads show up. So how do we improve these low show up rates, right? By auto scheduling calls in the CRM, we improve the show up rate just because of the fact that we already have the consultation booked, the reminders sent right before, an hour before, a day before, all of that, right? Email sent, text messages sent across all platforms. So the client really knows that they're going to have a meeting on this day and they're not to forget because we follow up with them like crazy, right? The agent automatically books these appointments in the CRM and ties this to the client's calendar, which is great because it's both on our calendar and the client's calendar as well, potential client calendar in this sense. And the 5th problem or last problem that I find in these common sales teams is high sales costs and burnout. Because of the fact that the sales team is usually handling all the manual tasks, like I said, lead nurturing, following up, sending out emails, messages, texts, all that kind of jazz, right? They have to waste time and effort, and this can lead to inconsistent results, even if they're handling all of these on a high volume basis. And how do we solve this? We set up AI voicemail drops and reminders, right? So what do I mean by AI voicemail drops and reminders? This pretty much sends out reminders via voicemail if a customer is a no-show, if a customer does not answer their phone in the first place, and then also sends up reminders, right? Like I just said in the previous node, we send out automated reminders every X day, every X hour, just to have your client notified of the meeting or of the follow-up and let them know that you're still interested in pursuing business with them. And you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to click a button, none of this. This is all automated, which is amazing. And this is basically the solution, the Omni Sales Agent. So now let's walk through this N8N workflow that's gonna make you wanna delete your current sales process. So it first starts out with a webhook, and this is under the outreach process 1, of course. So this outreach process 1 only calls outbound calls, right? So any lead generation sources that you have, if you have some sort of software that's pulling phone numbers for potential clients, this is the workflow that's gonna call these people and text them and email them. So we start with this potential webhook here, right? The VAPI AI call node here basically takes this information from the webhook and then calls this user. And if the user picks up or not is determined in the statement here. If the user does pick up, it goes to this false statement. If the user does not pick up, it goes to this true statement here. It's a bit opposite, I know, but if you see here, you can see the ended reason and how it's equal to did not answer. And if it's equal to unknown error, it goes to this true statement. The lead is updated in this go high level opportunity stage here, which updates our CRM and go high level. So which stage it's at in the go high level CRM tells us whether or not the lead is ready to move forward or needs to be sent a follow-up message. If the user does respond, it goes to this false statement and the sentiment analysis node is ran. This sentiment analysis node analyzes the transcript whether or not the user has booked a consultation or has not booked a consultation. So if the user has not booked a consultation, it goes to this analyze actions needed tab, and this agent pretty much analyzes the transcript again and sees what actions need to be taken to proceed or not proceed. And this feedback agent basically analyzes the transcript again and tells us whether or not we should make adjustments to our workflow or our agent or our prompting. Based off of this code node, we assign a unique identifier and basically proceed in creating a user in Supabase, which is our CRM or designated CRM for this workflow and for all workflows that are combined. The Supabase CRM is connected across all different workflows and also connected to Go High Level as well. So everything is interconnected. And once this user is created in here, there's a conversation ID attached to it, as well as the transcript and call reason for improvement, as we mentioned back here in this feedback agent node. And then the stage is updated, just like the stage is updated in this Go High Level opportunity up here. And how we do this is using this Go High Level opportunity update node here, which basically calls an external tool to update the opportunity, which is fairly simple. So if the user does book a consultation, it goes to this code one node, which also creates a unique identifier for the user. Same steps, it goes to create the user within Supabase, creates a conversation ID that is attached to this user, and stores a transcript that is also attached to this user, and updates the stage as well. And then here you see another Go High Level opportunity update one node, which calls another N8N workflow tool, which updates the opportunity again. So this is a workflow basically just for outbound calls, right? So you might be asking, how do we proceed with this follow-up if the lead didn't answer, right? That's when we go to upload follow-up 1 to Supabase. So this workflow pretty much accepts the webhook or the information from the database that the stage is being updated to did not answer or has not answered. We get the user ID from Supabase because we have created the user ID now, and now it's in our system. We can pretty much create a conversation for both email and text to remind the user that we are still interested in proceeding with them, or reaching out to them to see if they're interested in proceeding with our services or our product. We also create new messages, as you can see here, and then we update the row within Supabase, letting them know that we've updated this to follow-up 1. So you might be saying in your head right now, this is pretty cool, but what about inbound numbers? What about if we have a website number, or we have a number on our Facebook page, or we have a number on our contact card, right? How is that gonna happen? What if they call us, right? That's when we come to this receiving inbound VAPI workflow. So it's pretty similar in a way where we get the information from the webhook. So if someone calls us, we get the information here. Then we have this OpenAI message model that determines the information of the user based off of the call transcript. And then we get a row from Supabase. So we're checking if the user has been within our system before based off of this call. So if they've texted, emailed, messaged through any platform, we're going to be able to tell that based off of this node here. So if that's true, if the user ID does exist, we come up to this node here, and we analyze the transcript and see whether or not they book a consultation or not. Pretty much the same steps that I just went through in the outbound calling. So if they did book a consultation, we come up to this OpenAI node up here, which determines the information from the user again to make sure, and basically stores the conversation within Supabase as well. So it stores the conversation because we already have their user ID. Based off of the user ID, we create a conversation, we store the transcript, and then we update the stage like previously. If they did not book a consultation, we run through the same analyze actions and the feedback agent as well. Same steps, create a conversation, store the transcript, and then update the stage. And then there's also a do not call 1 opportunity here. So if the analyze actions needed comes back as the user being angry, or something like, don't reach out to me again, I never want to hear from your number again, or something like that, it accesses this tool which basically puts them on a do not call list, which is pretty cool. So if the user does not exist, we create a new go high level ID for them, and then basically analyze the sentiment of the transcript again, as in the node above. And basically, if they did not book a consultation, we analyze the actions needed, feedback agent, then create a unique identifier for them, create a new user in Supabase, create a new conversation, store the transcript and the call improvement, reason for call improvement, and then we update the stage. Again, if the user has booked a consultation, we go to go high level, update the contact, go through the code, update a new unique identifier for them. Then we create a user, conversation ID, so the transcript, and then update the stage again. And this is just for inbound and outbound calling, by the way. You might be asking, what if they message us? What if they text us through Instagram? How are we to respond to that? Well, the system also takes care of all responses through any messaging platform, whether that be text, emailing, Instagram messaging, Facebook messaging, anything like that, right? Like I said before, this is the workflow that handles all of that. So in this webhook, we receive all the data that comes in through any messaging platform, and we check to see if the user exists within Supabase or not. Based off of this data, we are able to determine whether to move to true or false. False is if they don't exist in the platform, and true is if they've texted us before. Through the false node, we create a response, and then we can also book a calendar event. Based off of that, we can get the calendar availability based off your calendar availability. And then we also have a do not contact node as well. Same steps here. We have a unique identifier created, we have a conversation created, we have a user created, and then we store the user chat as well as the assistant chat. So anything that goes between this tools agent and the user that's texting is stored within Supabase, which is pretty cool. We then go to the true node, which basically comes up to here. If the user exists within Supabase, we are able to create another response to them. And then we can also, what's different between this workflow and the one below is the fact that we have a Supabase get row node. So this gets all of the rows, all of the chat transactions between this user that's already existed in our database that has texted us, whether it be email, whether they called us before, we can see all of that. And basically this tools agent will craft a response based off this information that they know from the CRM, create another conversation within Supabase, create a chat store and assistant store. So basically we can see both of the messages between the user and the assistant. and then of course it responds to the webhook. So this is a sample CRM dashboard that you would be seeing that would be tied to Supabase and Go High Level. So you're able to see the messages sent, received, and the follow-up sent, as well as the phone calls in, out, and the calls booked, which is pretty amazing. You can also see all the messages and all the transcripts in these two windows, as well as the statistics within this first window up here. If you click on conversation, you can see the history of every single conversation that your company has made in contact with any possible lead. And also you can see all of the contacts within this window as well. So if your sales team is too expensive for your business and you pretty much aren't seeing the results that you want to see, and you're doing over 5 to 10K per month at least, and you're looking to scale your company to the moon and generate way more revenue, click the link in the description to book a free call with our team. This will help you close more deals without increasing any more ad spend, eliminate any wasted leads that weren't previously nurtured, and also scale your sales processes without hiring any more reps.